Hello everyone. Hopefully you're able to hear me well. Um, if you don't, just give me a shout. So yeah, welcome to the second installment. Is it a correct word in English? Second part. Hello, Vexel. Thanks. Yeah, you're saying that the sound is all right. That's perfect. Uh, Second time with Shardpunk and me. Sławomir, the guy who is creating the game. And hey, it's good to have you all here on the chat. I'll be here. Hello, Onyx, online as usual for an hour or so, rambling about the game and the other stuff. So especially I have a big shout out for everyone who is willing to still hear me, even though our national football or soccer for the US guys representation is playing right now in the European Cup and are losing already. That's as far as I know. I mean, I'm not following it right now. So yeah, if you prefer watching a guy talking about killing big rats or talking about the tactics involved with killing big rats instead of watching a soccer game, that's big respect for you guys. Anyways, I just as usual, I'm not alone here. There's the silent operator Michael with me, who's making sure all this stuff works correctly. I guess we can go to the second screen. Oh no, we're seeing the correct screen right now, because you can see me as the as the small window, and the big window is the game, which is that side. Yeah, exactly. That's cool because I want to obviously talk about the game that I'm making and will be making for some time still. So like the last time I was talking about the general gameplay loop, and I know that as soon as I got to the shelter phase, I figured out that I'm basically running out of time, and I've decided to speed things up because of like unknown reasons to me. And so I'll just go through this part slowly this time because why not? So let's say we're picking up here. Hello, David. Nice to have you here. We're picking up in the situation where the team has made it to the shelter. And Onyx Games has a question. Where are we, Will, in the game? I mean, on the screen. You need to rephrase that because I'm not sure whether I understand what you mean. So just I'll give you time to do that. I've just heard like on a side note, like a very big yell of happiness from the outside world, which might imply that there has been a goal scored for Poland, so it might be 1-1 in the match. Where are we in the game, Onyx? Like on the all right, we are right now in the bunker, which the team has arrived in after the combat phase. So this is like the home phase or the cooldown phase. Like the game has these two phases, let's say. The combat, the tactical combat, and the turn-based combat, obviously, and then the more or less turn-based filter phase, if it can be called turn-based, maybe action point-based more. It's a resting place. It's like it is like a safe house that you can reach after the combat. Note that you will only visit each place once in the game. It's not like you have a base of operations where you that you are using and you're upgrading that base. It's not happening here. It's just you are making your way through the city. As I mentioned the last time, I will click on the map here, which gives me the map view. Uh, as usual, guys, I'm working on a development build because there's like only a development build available right now. I am making sure that this stuff works before we have this weekly talk, right? Because I don't want you to see I mean, it would be fun for you to see some bugs or issues, but we don't want the game to break, right? So yeah, so you can see here that this is the map, which shows you all the available locations that you can go into, and you need to well, basically reach the end to the bridge, which will contain the final mission for this chapter. And each of these nodes represent a place where a combat will take place, and then the shelter phase will kick in. So the place that we are in here, like basically I had to somehow wrap it around in the game lore, right? Uh, the empire, the human empire, which the capital is their city, is a pretty militarized society, if you can call it that way. Uh, Basically, well, mostly due to the fact because they're uh, like waging this everlasting war with the rats. Hello, Small Bros. Good to have you on the stream. And that's why, like, the capital as a city, even it's a big city, like the biggest one in the world, in a known world, uh, was uh, uh, was designed in a way that it has this military bunkers spread all over the place, which then can be used as these resting places for our soldiers. I mean, for our characters. They're not soldiers, even though some of them are badass. They're basically not soldiers, except the ones that are soldiers, right? Because like this guy, Mycroft, he's basically a retired soldier. The guy who actually fought in previous wars or battles, because the war is like everlasting. So yeah. So yeah, these are the bunkers. So you go in here, you can do some stuff inside the bunker, and then you just go out and proceed with your mission. Now, it's not mandatory to enter the bunker, and sometimes the game will not allow you to enter the bunker if certain preconditions are not met, but we'll get to that. I'll just talk about Mycroft because he's like the guy who, as I mentioned, he's a soldier. Like, Empire soldiers are like the basic troops are using the what do you call them? Exosuits. It's, I believe, the best way to describe it. Like, Mycroft is actually wearing the exosuit right now, like an exoskeleton, and he has a battery on the back. I was like kind of inspired when we were talking with Kurt, the pixel artist, about it with the Edge of Tomorrow movie. If you haven't seen that movie, it is quite a new movie with Emily Blunt and the Mission Impossible guy, with Tom Cruise. So yeah, they have this cool badass exosuits there. Uh, Smallbros is asking whether I thought about making unlockable secret character that is a giant cat. Yeah, now we're talking about giant mutated animals. Um, I didn't think about giant cats, and I I see what you did there. Like you're searching for a natural enemy for the giant rats. Bear in mind that like if we should stick to the proportions, uh, obviously most of the cats, if not all, are bigger than rats, like few times bigger than rats. So if we are dealing with human size rats in the game, we should be dealing like with a behemoth or behemoth sized cats. Um, and Yeah, I guess at pass. I mean, I was thinking about having a playable rat character in the game, but I'm not sure about that. Maybe when we'll be dealing with the DLC, because it would be a special character. Yeah, Emily Blunt was actually, yeah, she was a Full Metal bitch in the movie. I actually love the movie, watched it several times. My son actually loves it as well. Uh, so yeah, she's a great actress, and she has an outstanding British accent, and I'm a sucker for British accents, actually. Uh, yeah, but let's not fantasize here about British actresses. Uh, right. Uh, so Mycroft, an exosuit, and he's a retired soldier. Because of that, he has some perks. Like, if I go to the character details, let's see how the character details screen looks like this week. Because, like, this is the screen which I tend to change like every week. I like this is the biggest piece of UI, like user interface in the game, like the character details screen, the skills tree, and the weapon customization. And I'm just moving stuff around here as I go, as I plan as I playtest the game. So this is like the latest snapshot of it with only two tabs on the top. I'm also like paying attention to like making sure that this will be accessible or usable when played with the gamepad. I've been testing the gamepad. I had the old Xbox One around here, uh, but yeah, the control support is still not there. But yeah, my point is that I want to make sure that there's a unified UI for both consoles and desktop versions of the game. So Mycroft, what about you? Like he has a special skill, which is the search through all stashes, and it's a shelter skill. So you might figure out that it is only usable when you are in a shelter. And as I mentioned, this guy is an old soldier, so he has knowledge of some hidden stashes inside the bunkers. And how can you use that to your advantage? Well, it's an action, as I mentioned. Like this is the action. Uh, Actions cost action points, so same as in the combat phase. But like the combat phase has turns, and after each turn, your action points pool regenerate. Here you don't really have turns, so I now believe it is fair to say that this shelter phase is definitely not a turn-based phase, because it's like only has one turn and then it ends. Or maybe it is a turn-based. It's a single turn-based thing, like one-dimensional thing, like think minimalism here. So this is like a minimalistic turn-based experience, uh, just to make sure not to overwhelm the player. Uh, so this costs an action point, and there's a pool of action points available for the player. Now, I believe I mentioned it last time. Like In the latest demo, the one that is already like almost a year old, there was also a shelter phase. The difference there was that each character has a set of action points there, their own action points. Hello, Mode. Nice to have you on the stream. Um, so right now there's a common pool of the action points. I decided that this is like this is a more fun way to model it, because I was well, during playtesting, basically having some issues with remembering who has some number of who has action points left. Obviously they were displayed on the screen like somewhere on the top, but still uh, you would try to play this little meta mini game with trying to optimize the point usage for each player and then for each character, and it's like it doesn't sound that bad when I'm talking about it, but believe me, well, you can try it out yourself because the demo is still up on Steam, and there is already a link to the Steam page on the chat. Just don't play it yet. Wait for this stream to end. So yeah, then there were these issues where a character could run out of actions to do, and but another character could use that action. So I kind of played along with making that and with changing that, and then that's how I ended up with a common action points pool. Now the numbers are of course tweakable because we're talking early alpha stage of the game here. There is a number of action points that you can receive from each party member. Now there are 4 party members here and 6 action points, which doesn't actually divide that much. And I believe that is because there is a total of 3 action points granted for every character. So if you're good at maths, you're now thinking, well, Sławomir, you are, because Sławomir is like the long name of Sławek, which is my name. If you don't remember it, of course you do. Sławomir, you are like talking rubbish here because we have 4 characters, and if we're getting 3 action points for each character, it should be 4 times 3, which is like 12 or something, right? Well, no, because 2 of these characters are in a state that, well, they're not really looking like they are willing to cooperate, and these are these 2, which is Rose and Gideon. And why is that? Well, basically they were dealing with some tough shit in the previous battle, and now they're severely wounded, and they are not able to perform any actions in this shelter. Basically, that's what happens when you are when your hit points are down to 0. Of course, then you can heal yourself and stuff, and I will talk more about it. But let's now just focus that Rose, for instance, is not able to do something. Now I can like switch the active character to her, but I'm actually not able to do anything with her. So that's why like severely wounded characters don't contribute to the common action points pool. That's why we only have 6 of them left or remaining. Well, at start, because I didn't do anything. I just started the game. Now, if I go to the Rose's details and I will show her traits, I should be seeing her 3 traits. Yeah, she has like a medical training thing which heals extra hit points. Now, this will be like she's the healer character, even though you can't see that she's a healer character. Now, this girl will actually be a katana wielding badass pilot character with the shotgun, and well, this graphic, and Rose, which, well, the name actually fits a healer character for me, but the visuals will be more healeric. That's the word. It is a word right now. Anyways, she's got the severely wounded thing, which says that she's not able to perform any shelter actions. So yeah, it means that first of all, she's not contributing to the action points pool, which I believe could also be described here, right? And also she's not able to do any actions, which means that some special skills that she has, like this one, and the shelter skill, which allows you to like salvage bandages from, I don't know where, it doesn't matter. It gives you like some medical supplies that you can use then to craft stuff. It's not available, but still this guy can do his stuff. So I can choose the search through the old stashes action and click it. The action points will be reduced to 5. And he actually checked a hidden stash. We don't know where it is because it's hidden, only this guy knows where it is. And we've received like what? A free Steam pack, I'd say. Right? This stuff. So yeah, we have a free Steam pack. So shelters are searchable. There can be a varying number of searchable stuff in each shelter. It looks like here we actually are pretty lucky because we have both the shelves and the crates present. Like these elements can be absent or empty. Like there will be an empty shelves graphic here without any possibility to search through it. And I can use the search through the shelves action through here. I'm hitting escape. What will happen if I hit escape? Because I was coding the escape behavior today. And yeah, it did work. You can like you can either click the shelves and then you can see that when I'm hovering over it, it gives you the name of the actions that can be done on this object. So when I click it, it actually highlights the action for me. So you can use like a point and click approach here if you really like to. Like on Workbench, you can craft a grenade or a stim pack. So if I click once, like the craft grenade is highlighted. If I click again, the craft stim pack is highlighted. So obviously we can't craft them because we have not enough resources, because I haven't gathered any resources in the previous fight, because there was no previous fight, because I just cheated and started the game in the shelter phase, which you guys shouldn't be doing it, and the final game will prevent you from doing crazy stuff like this. But I'm showcasing here, right? Let's search through the old shelves. And hooray, we found nothing. Obviously, all the stuff here is empty, but there was something in the crates. Yeah, I was just hoping that it would be. All right, so like this is the basic shelter phase. You can do stuff here, like spend action points to basically heal your characters and to craft stuff or reduce stress. I'll talk about stress more later on. Cool. What else can you do in the shelter then? You can click around stuff and the characters will give you some random text. Like, yeah, these entrance doors are shut and the rats are not able to breach them, at least as long as the fusion core that you used to power this up, like a battery, like this crazy item, this graphic, obviously they have 0 of them here. And I was talking about the actions and the healing and stuff. You can see here that we like can heal characters, because like Rose is obviously dying here. I mean, she's not like dying that she won't die if you don't treat her. It's like a completely different story. It used to be like that, but then I found it to be too punishing. But you can actually try to hear her to remove the severely wounded effect from her. Now, this is like an unusual situation in the game because even though Rose is lying here, like unconscious, uh, and being severely wounded, you can see that her hit points are like maxed, which is not the case of the final game. It's only because I again uh, was able as a developer to change the rules of the game and to make sure that I just wanted to showcase how the severely wounded characters look like. Uh, all right, another thing that you can do in the shelter is to play around with the weapons. And this is like not the final, the latest way of approaching it. Like every weapon will have a number of modification slots. Right now, each of these weapons have 3 modification slots, and every character has their own weapon type. I believe that this revolver actually will be used for not for Michael, but for the other guy who's not available here, not in this run. But well, it doesn't matter. My point is that you have the modification slots, which you can use to insert stuff here. Like every weapon has their base stats, and every character has a weapon. Like Michael will go on to the old game with this revolver, with the wheel breaker, if that will be the final name that I will give him. Uh, but the thing is that the weapons themselves, they level up, well, in the way that you actually level them up in 2 different ways. Like you can either upgrade them using the slots, and also, which is not available in the UI as if any kind of feedback for the player right now, by the number of kills that you actually score in the game. So you can try to install a modification, and these are the number of modifications available in the game right now. Some of them without the icons, and the other ones with the temporary placeholder icons. So things like stuff that will increase your percentage to hit or increase your damage or stuff like that, or to increase the cell capacity. And I was planning to talk about cell capacity today, and we'll see how it works. I just need to remove that path from here because it's in the way. Cool. Now I can't use any modification because I don't have an upgrade token, which is the up arrow icon that I'm using right now. Like the weapon upgrade tokens is the one of the newest ideas I have in the game to make sure that we're able to obtain means to upgrade weapons in the game. Previously, the characters were finding weapon add-ons. Like you could find a scope or an improved scope or something like that, and then swap this around, and even found different weapons. But it was actually introducing a lot of chaos in the way that this UI worked, especially that if you found a new weapon, you then you were assuming that you could scrap the old one, like remove the old one to get some stuff. And then there were situations that some characters could end up without having a weapon equipped, and the game would have to handle it. And it was all there. It is not a like a way of me telling you guys that I wasn't able to code this or to have this. Like that was in the game. My point is that it wasn't actually. It was like an unwanted noise, unnecessary noise to the core of the game, and yeah, that's how I changed it. So now we have the upgrade tokens that we can find. I'm in the cheat mode and I'm adding the upgrade tokens right now, and then I can just get the damage amplifier and bam, I have it installed in the game, which will be in the weapon, which will be like reinforced visually in the weapon module, like in the weapon visuals, and then each um, modification, that's the official name for it, each modification can be leveled, which means that yeah, if I have more upgrade tokens, I can upgrade it even more. So yeah, I'm doing it. There are some standard and non-standard modifications, like the aim assist and the energy cell extensions are pretty much self-explanatory if you do remember about energy cells. If you don't, I will just give you a reminder in a moment. This is basically ammunition, but yeah, like in short, this is ammunition. But you have stuff like free reloads or free shots. We will be talking about armor piercing damage or armor shredding damage, because armor is also a thing in the game. So like the upgrading and installing weapon modifications is only available when you are in the shelter, which, well, like obviously makes sense because you need to be in a safe place and have some time to do stuff. So this is the shelter phase. At least the one and only turn that you have. When you spend all your action points, and even if you don't spend them, because I'm not planning on spending them, I'll just end this phase. It will give you the prompt that there are some unspent action points because we didn't spend all of them. I'm ending the phase anyway. Then we have the food distribution thing. So the point here is to use one of the resources, which is the well, obviously the food supplies, and to assign them to your squad, to your survivors. Well, in order for them to, like eat it and drink it and stuff, because they obviously need to do it. If they don't, they well, they could die. Initially, they were getting hungry. That was one of the first things that I did. There was a hunger status, like they could get hungry or very hungry, and this was, if a character was hungry, they would have an extra penalty to hit, so it would be more difficult for them to hit an enemy. And it was quite a nice sounding concept, like, and obviously it would make sense. Like, if you don't eat, you're not like instantly dying because of hunger. You just get worse in things that you're doing, and because most of the things these guys are doing is running around and fighting rats. Yeah, what a life, right? They would be worse at it, which means that, yeah, their aim or the damage would be, taking a hit. On the other hand, this introduced a very, very bad, like a negative feedback loop, because if the player was actually not that lucky, or maybe didn't have enough skills or whatever or luck to find food during the combat when you're scavenging the city, then they go into this phase, and well, they have no food, and then their characters get even worse in combat because they had no food. And yeah, and then it turns out that the next mission is even harder, and then they can't find food again. It's like this downward spiral of failure and despair, and we don't want that. Hello, Grid, 3D, Grid in 3D. Nice to have you on the chat. So yeah, you need to have food. Like, we're learning very, very interesting things in the stream, right? But we don't have any food, so I'll just automatically add some because I can. So yeah, what's like the current way of dealing with it? Well, basically, if you don't eat, you lose a hit point. I'll just be evil and will not give the food to to the last guy. Yeah, it's a cheat mode which I basically have on the development build here, which just allows me to do some stuff. Like the inventory manipulation is has been proven to be very useful. Like in some situations, I need to like test stuff, or maybe I just see that the difficulty needs to be tweaked or stuff like that. So uh, I'm using cheats for that. Also for the cinematic mode, which basically like increases the cooldown times for the camera to move around during combat, so that I could capture gifts which are not very all over the place because the camera is more still. All right, so these there are some food supplies left. Yes, because I'm evil. So yep, so this guy actually suffered an HP loss, and that's all the penalty that you get, that you receive, which means this character will be starting with 1 HP less. It's not as punishing as like reducing their aim for like 15% or something like that, which is a good thing. Now, obviously, a character can die during the feeding phase, right? Because if they were on 1 hit point and you're always receiving like a 1 hit point penalty, then you basically die. So that's the worst case scenario. But you will have some means of preventing it by healing yourself in the shelter phase. So yeah, that should be enough. And yeah, here is the combat distribution screen, which is far different from the one that was in the demo, because in the demo you had to distribute all the inventory types to all the characters. It was very realistic. It was having a very heavy UI, but it kind of made sense because obviously you're leaving the shelter and you're going on your way and you need to gather all the stuff. Every character has a carry limit, like number of items that they can carry, which could be nice because it was introducing the mechanics that you need to like figure out which stuff to leave behind. But also it was extremely frustrating. So right now I've sacrificed some realism to make sure that only like the meaningful decisions are left here. So you are only as a player distributing items which are usable in the combat, which are going from left to right: grenades, stimpaks, and fusion cores. Grenades are obviously used to alright, you know what the grenades are for. They're used to call more rats to the combat. Every time you use a grenade, you're inviting more enemies uh, on the map. But obviously, you can also deal a lot of damage. Stimpaks, you use them to heal, and fusion cores, you use them for like in 4 different ways. But they're basically used to unlock shelter doors. So yeah, this is like this. Yeah, all right. This is the starting uh, uh, position, I'd say. Like you have 4 undistributed grenades, 5 undistributed stimpaks, and 2 fusion cores. And now you can make some meaningful decisions. Who should be given what? Maybe Rose is a better healer. Well, she is. So maybe she should be having more of these. And maybe Mycroft is an armored guy who is kind of a tank class, and he could use more grenades because he can go, forward and take some hits and then deal some more damage. You can click and distribute these, or you can just click on an item and it will be distributed evenly. And I'll just go with this. I can't click the start button because we need to select a location. I will go with the sewers. Now, the locations in the game. This is pretty much unexplored territory. I have some big plans for the locations. Like currently, there are few properties of each location. Like location can be having a certain biome or level type. And right now there are 3 different level types in the game. We have the sewers, we have a closed industrial maps, and we have open industrial maps. Like closed are like closed distances inside building and stuff, and the open ones are more on the streets and stuff like that. So that's one thing. Like, so this will impact the way the level looks and the way the level is laid out. There will be bigger open spaces in the open maps and more closed spaces in the closed maps, obviously. But then there will be calling them map mutators present in game, which means that each map will have a set of rule changing stuff that will impact the way you play on the level. For instance, for the sewers maps, there could be a loose foundations mutator, which will make it impossible to use explosives on the level, because if you do, like, if you would the roof, the ceiling would collapse on you. So this will change the way the game works. And in other mutations could be about having a special enemy type or something like a mini boss, but that's like another story. And other ones could be about a place being pretty desolate, which means that there won't be much enemies in there, but also not much loot at present. But that's like all in, not even in the works. Like it's written down right now. It's planned, but it's not there. The one thing that is there is the special loot type, which can be present on each map. Like each map should have a special, first of all, a special chest. Let's call it a chest, which can be unlocked, and it will give you some fancy stuff like weapon upgrade tokens and stuff like that. But also you can find special loot like a shitload of crystal shards. Like this place here, this factory has it, and it can be right now seen by this icon here. So there will be a stash of crystal shards. Well, hidden. It won't be hidden. It will be there. You just need to reach it. Or some more food, like in the sewers, or some, or basically nothing in here, or some military equipment in this place. But this is unreachable. Let's roll with the sewers and see whether the game actually works when you're running a mission. All right, it did. We've skipped the intro because I'm running a intro-less build, with intro being an extra text which is there. So we're in the sewers right now. What can we see in here? Oh, it's pretty dark because there's fog of war present, but there are food supplies present here. This is like a special stash present on this map, which if you manage to reach it, you'll be able to grab some food. So yep, I'd say that this longer than expected explanation of the shelter phase actually really concludes the the gameplay loop. All right, you're asking how does the fog of war work here? Pretty standard, I'd say. There are three different states of it. Like first is obviously an unexplored territory. Then when you move to it, it will become explored in a way that you can see some enemies, if there were some enemies there. Oh, they are. That was fast. And obviously when you then move people out of an area, you will lose visibility upon this area, even though like the fog of war will not be back there. I'm not having this visual representation of this. I'm not sure whether I should or not. I wasn't thinking about it. And while I was talking, the rats actually grabbed me, and they tried to do stuff, which means I'll just try to fight them for a while, and yeah, to show you how the game works in the combat phase. And then I have just one last thing I want to show it to you. Alright, so this guy has the heavy weapon, which can do some slamming, so I'll just go with that. So I'll just select the ground slam and go with it. And this is a 100% kill, especially because the melee rats are pretty shitty in terms of hit points. Now Michael is in the position that he's flanked. I was talking about flanking and all that stuff the last time, and he's not really able to reach a flanking position in one action because he can only move to here. So I believe that I'm just gonna wait and see what the sniper can do. He has a very very big, let's say bigger percent like hit chance than the other ones, because well he's having a sniper rifle, right? Like this pistol guy has a 40% chance to hit because his base is 60 and this guy's is 78. So let's try it, whether he'll be able to. Of course he won't. Of course he won't. So shit, what I'll do is I'll try to go with this guy here and enter the Overwatch, and then use Rose, which is definitely the worst idea ever because she has only 4 hit points, because she has the fragile trait which I've decided to give her, so she's not the best fighter. Why I've decided to give her 4 starting hit points instead of 5? Because well, she's a healer, and I know that we need to be making healers not too overpowered. What I wanted to do is, and I actually already see that I suck here, I wanted to make sure that she runs into a flanking position to these rats, so that they would probably be feeling the need to be flushed out, and then the Overwatch action for Michael would become useful, but this won't happen. So I'll just do it the other way. Let's try and see whether I'm able to. I'm not able to throw a grenade here, but I'm able to throw it here. Alright, no, I'll just move here and see what happens. So obviously the melee rat has triggered the Overwatch, and then our micro guy is just exposed here because he's not in the cover, and he will not be killed, but he will somehow survive. And now we can do some more fun stuff. Our sniper still can will try to make it work this time. And obviously, he did not hit it. Shit. But Rose has actually moved to a place where she's flanking all the enemies. And she will even try and kill this one. Yeah, she has a shotgun, which is like 1 to 3 damage, I'd say. Oh, don't forget about Michael, because I like artificially pumped up his gun, which like deals 2 to 5 damage, which is way too much uh, for this level of the game. So let's try to find an angle. This is the best angle here, because if we'll be here, we're actually ignoring the cover of this sky. And yeah, of course, his weapon is good, but still the minimum damage is 2, so that's what happened. All right, Minecraft, can you do something about it? He's the only one with action points. Let's try to kill these. And I did. Grenades, using grenade only costs 1 action point. Like, at one moment in time, I actually made a mistake in code, which actually made it happen. Previously, throwing a grenade was actually using 2 action points. And then I actually liked it, because you can throw 2 grenades in your turn if you really want to, if you have the grenades for it. But you do have to remember that throwing grenades is increasing the probability that more enemies will appear soon. All right, this guy has 1 action left, and I believe I will just heal him using the stim pack. So he's like stabbing himself with a needle, because that's fun. And he will immediately get shot again. And he's stressed out. That's a very nice thing to show you guys. So his stress meter, the how to call it, the violet one, the magenta one, like this one, is to the maximum. Like you can see that Michael's like not that much. And when your stress meter goes up, there's a very big chance that there will be something wrong with you, and this causes these people to acquire some quirks, some negative traits, and yeah, that's what happens right now. So he will be giving some negative penalties right now. Onyx is asking about destroying the boxes. I'm thinking about it. I mean, I've seen a lot of good things for allowing the players to do so. Technically, it could be done. It would require more effort, right? Because like the pipes, maybe not the best thing to be destroyed, because if we let's assume that the grenades will be destroying these, right? Grenade has this area of effect, and if you would be destroying the top 3 segments of this pipe, like the bottom segment would have to remain, and I would like to actually display a destroyed cover thing. This will also change the way the level of the level layout. Like some of the cover will be destroyed, and some tiles will be made passable and stuff like that. So I am considering having an option for that, maybe in a form of a special skill. But yeah, that's how it looks like. All right, let's try to kill this last one. What happened on the battleground? Oh, like this guy, Minecraft is, yeah, he's hurt again. Let's use Rose and heal him. Yeah, he's not stressed anymore because he already went crazy. And if we go to his details, he has the night blind on on him right now. So let's try to kill this guy. She's a healer, so she like, oh, she managed to heal 4 hit points. And you can see now, let's zoom in, and I will end on this. You can see that Mycroft, so the crouching guy on the very left, some of his hit points are orange or yellow or whatever the color is. He has only 1 green hit point left. The orange hit points are basically the health that has been artificially pumped up with the using the stim pack, and this will be gone when you reach the shelter phase. I'm pretty sure there will be a explanation for that, so they will have less HP after the combat. Alright, I just want to kill this last rat, and let's try to do it using the overheat. You might remember the overheat mechanism because I mentioned it last time. Weapons don't have any physical bullets. They are like heat powered. But anyway, they're like energy weapons, let's say. And when the heat goes up, you can still use them, but you have a big chance, which you can then reduce possibly, of hurting yourself. But also you're dealing even more damage, like guaranteed 5 damage if you manage to hit 81% to hit this guy for at least 5 damage, so he's as good as dead. But a very big percentage that you'll be able to inflict 3 damage for you, and it's done. And it backfired, so I got 3 damage. Alright, I will put it on hold here. I just want to show you one extra thing about, where the hell is it? Oh yeah, about the animation. Because well, like this is the basic rat, the like the guy with the knife, but this is not his original. Well, he has a cousin, like a cousin from the old version of the game, and this is the guy. It's like face or head or whatever it is, looks different, but this is the shoot animation of it, and this is one of the well, this is the first enemy that was in the game, and this is a rat with a freaking crossbow. And I know that the guys on the streams, on Retrovibe streams from the last week, were well, like the crossbow thing is a running joke there. So yeah, there is a crossbow character in the game, or there was a crossbow character in this game, and frankly, I'm not planning to. I'm not planning to bring it back. But for the guys from the looter, take note. You can say that it's more of a vertical crossbow because you can see it's being tilted or whatever, and it kind of looks nice. But it was a crossbow, and I liked Kalashnikov guns more. So yeah, all right, let's wrap this up. We can move to the screen. Yep. Where you can see only my pretty face and my name, if you don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, a crossbow. A crossbow was there, and it won't be back. At least not as a playable weapon thing. Alright, so an hour has passed, and as usual I had a blast talking about this stuff. Yeah, I will be, spending the rest of the week working on the game, introducing more stuff, and hopefully I have some new stuff to show you next week. But obviously I'll be going more in depth into all the risk-reward mechanics that are there in Shardpunk. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and visit our Discord as well. I'm there. You can ask me different silly questions, or maybe not that silly, but yeah, please do. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and we'll see each other next week. Bye.